The Tour de Kangaroo is an event organised by the Kangaroos Football Club as a fundraiser for both the club itself and the Royal Children's Hospital Leukemia Research Fund.
We've been looking forward to it. Been a bit busy in Melbourne, but I've left the phone at home, so I've relaxed already. It's good.
Car enthusiasts and adventurers alike embark on the tour, with 40 cars and over 100 people travelling for 8 days through the outback to some of Australia's most remote and spectacular locations, with the final destination Uluru in the Northern Territory.
Is it stocked up, Shimmer?
It should be gone before lunchtime.
Go pie!
Day one took us across the Murray River and into New South Wales before making our way to Silverton, a place I've been looking forward to seeing for a long time. The tracks on the first day were pretty tame, and it was great to arrive at Monday Lookout for a sunset drink with everyone from the tour.
Good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. I mean, isn't it one of the best things you've ever seen in your life? It's just sensational up there. I mean, it's cold and chilly, but how flat it is. You can actually see the curve of the earth, they say here, and you can see it. If you have a close look, it's the curve of the earth. It's fantastic. Couldn't be in a better place for it this time on a Saturday, could you?
I only wish more Australians had the opportunity of joining groups like ours and experiencing what we're experiencing, over this next week.
There are two things you have to see when you go to Silverton.
I'm the Night Rider! Can you see me, man?
One is the Mad Max car, and the other is the famous Silverton Hotel. It's one of those real iconic outback Aussie pubs. The cars gather to begin the day's travelling. A quick check under the bonnet and we're off, with some cars keen to leave the rest of us behind. Today we continue travelling north to the town of Innamincka, passing through cattle stations where it hasn't rained properly for over 10 years. Unfortunately, our arrival in Innamincka was somewhat delayed.
I come around the corner a bit quick and I just lost the back a bit of the snake tail, and the front wheel hit this part here and just flipped it over on its roof.
That's the greatest you've ever kicked in your life!
We finally got into Mildura. Today's journey takes us to Cameron's Corner, which sits on the Queensland, South Australia and New South Wales borders. We finished the day at Innamincka. Now we're really starting to get into desert country.
The country people, like the people feeding us here today, they're just very, very friendly people, happy to see us. And they're living out in the middle of nowhere, and they probably haven't seen anybody for weeks. So, I mean, they're just happy to see us, and they're very friendly, very helpful, fantastic. We're just going to cruise along. We're going to make sure we get to Uluru. We don't want to sort of be in a situation where the car breaks down again in a day or so we'll just take it easy from here on in and make sure we get there.
Day 4 sees the tour travel back south down the Strzelecki track to the township of Arkaroola, which is perched within the rugged peaks of the North Flinders Ranges. Day 5 begins our journey along the Oodnadatta track, and today we travel 346 kilometres on our way to the famous Willan Creek. A stop-off had to be made at the salt flats of Lake Eyre, covering a massive 9,690 square kilometres. This was a great spot to stop, have a drink and marvel at such an amazing sight.
It's like salt.
And of course we couldn't let the opportunity slip to have a kick of the footy with a couple of old timers, including Ken Sheldon and Peter McConville on the salt flats of Lake Eyre.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. See you in the final.
Nightfall almost beat us as we arrived into Willan Creek, just in time for a drink at another famous outback pub, the Willan Creek Hotel. Today we enter the Simpson Desert region and continued travelling up the Oodnadatta track. Our final destination is Mount Dare, situated in the Witjira National Park. As the cars set off from the famous Willan Creek Hotel, you can really gain some perspective of how magnificent this country really is. Only recently discovered, deep in the South Australian outback and not far from Willan Creek, is the fragile lunar landscape of what's become known as the Painted Desert. Local cattle station owners who believe the area's natural beauty is best left untouched have kept the landscape a secret for many years. Some 200 kilometres up the track we reach the township of Oodnadatta. Today's drive covers 461 kilometres as we cross the South Australian Northern Territory borders and make our way up to Mount Connor.
807.
Each morning, tour officials hand out the route notes and give final instructions for the day's events.
You realise the pressure is on, the responsibility of the whole event is on your shoulders, Foxy.
Hey.
And you, Russell. Shimmer's asleep. It's okay, don't wake him.
We got on 2 wheels again yesterday.
Once on the road, it's important to have a good navigator, to keep an eye on the route notes and instruct the driver when and where he needs to turn. This is done through the trip meter, which calculates our kilometres as we go along. Contact with other cars is made through CB radio.
Foxy, we're going over to the right. Move around. Over.
Each day there are challenges to test your driver's skills on the road in what's called a control section. You have to finish in the average of all cars. So you have to guess how fast the fastest car is going and how fast the slowest car is going and try to get halfway in between them. Points are awarded for the closest cars to the average time. Each car is required to register at the official checkpoints throughout the day. This way they can time you and instruct you on the other different challenges. The other challenges range from a number of fun activities that are organised for each day.
Still trying to work on the tactics. I've been watching all these blokes do it. I'm not sure which way to go. Look out!
Hit the nail on that donkey. That's no good, that method's no good.
70 metres. It's a shocker.
As the sun sets over the beautiful Mount Connor, it's time to unwind, have a beer and try a bit of camel steak. Straight off the barbie, outback style.
I think we're just about done.
And that's a good thing about it, the amount of people you meet. And then you start camping next to them, so you go through a few funny things when you're sitting around near the tent or getting up in the morning, headaches or not headaches, or staggering out looking like you haven't had a shower, which is the case most days. And everybody has a ball, as you can see. I mean, the atmosphere in the background, they're all loving tonight having camel steaks, which is something they've never had before probably. It's very similar to beef apparently, but we're all looking forward to sitting down having a camel steak with a glass of red wine. It'll be fantastic.